Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Go Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Go Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashodanandana-braja Ranjana Yashodanandana-braja Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashodanandana-braja Ranjana Yashodanandana-braja Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Braja Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Jaya Radha Kalasanji, Radha Kalasanji, Shri Radhe, Radha Kalasanji. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shamasundar, Radha Shamasundar, Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together, just the Sanskrit. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jaimam yudirayat nasta preya shabreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamasloke bhaktir bhagavati naishtaki om gyantimirandasya gananjana shalakaya Chakshuranvayatam yena tasmai shri guruve namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and by the grace of my spiritual master, my eyes were opened with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. I forgot to grab a mic. Gokulananda, thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll continue the prayers by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Nrsingadev. Thank you to the devotees who stepped in yesterday. Very kind. Continuing our Srimad Bhagavatam class and these wonderful prayers. Text 39. Anybody, please. Hare Krishna. 39, 7, 9, 39. 7939. Hare Krishna.
My dear Lord of the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no anxiety, my mind is extremely sinful and lusty, being sometimes so-called happy and sometimes so-called distressed. My mind is full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money. Thus it has become most polluted and is never satisfied in topics concerning you. I am therefore most fallen and poor. In such a status of life, how shall I be able to discuss your activities?
My dear Lord, O infallible one, my position is that, like a person who has many wives, all trying to attract him in their own way. For example, the tongue is attracted to palatable dishes, the genitals to sex with an attractive woman, and the sense of touch to contact with soft things. The belly, although filled, still wants to eat more, and the ear, not attempting to hear about you, is generally attracted to cinema songs. The sense of smell is attracted to yet another side. The restless eyes are attracted to scenes of sense gratification, and the active senses are attracted elsewhere. In this way, I am certainly embarrassed.
My dear Lord, you are always transcendentally situated on the other side of the river of death, but because of the reactions of our own activities, we are suffering on this side. Indeed, we have fallen into this river and are repeatedly suffering the pains of birth and death and eating horrible things. Now kindly look upon us, not only upon me, but also upon all others who are suffering, and by your causeless mercy and compassion, deliver us and maintain us.
O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, original spiritual master of the entire world, what is the difficulty for you, who manage the affairs of the universe, in delivering the fallen souls engaged in your devotional service? You are the friend of all suffering humanity, and for great personalities it is necessary to show mercy to the foolish. Therefore, I think that you will show your causeless mercy to persons like us, who engage in your service.
O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I fully absorbed in the thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them.
Got a major shift here from the first couple verses, right? I'm into money, women, and all of these. And then Prahlad shifts to, but I'm not all afraid, right? Very interesting. The first one, he's giving us a reality check, right? We've talked about reality checks. The acharyas, the teachers in our line are giving us a reality check of our situation. But then they come out of it and speak about where we're supposed to go, right? So Prahlad is giving us, where are we supposed to go? 44, please, and then we'll...
My dear Lord Nrsimhadeva, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and town. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Brata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet.
Okay. We'll do Sanskrit and then get into the translation. Prarena deva manayasva vimukti kama. Prayena deva munayasva mukti kama. Manom charanti vijanena prahatra nishtiha. Maunam charanti vijanana prarata nishtaha. Naitan vihaya kripanan vimukshayako. Naitan vihaya kripanan vimukshayako. Nayam tvadasya saranam brahmato nupase. Nayam tvadasya saranam brahmato nupase. Bolo, please. Prayana deva munayasva mukti kama. Manam charanti vijanena pratata nishtaha. Naitan vihaya kripanan vimuksha eko. Nayam tvadasya sharanam brahmato nupase. Prayena deva munayasva mukti kama. Om charanti vajanena parata nishtaha. Naitan vihaya kripanan vimuksha eko. Amtvadasya saranam brahmato nupashe. Prena deva munasva mukti kama.
Maunam charanti bijanena paratanishta.
Maunam charante vijane paratanishtaha.
Naitan bihaya kirpanan vimuksaeko.
Naitan vihaya kripanan vimuksha eko.
Nanyam tadasya saranam brahmatonupasya.
Nayam tvadasya sharanam brahmoto nupashe.
Prayana deva munayasva vimukti kama.
Prayena deva munayasvam vimukti kama.
Maunam charanti vijanena paratanishtaha.
Maunam charante vijanena paratanishtaha.
Naitan vihaya kripana vimuksheko.
Naitan vihaya kripanan vimuksha eko.
Nanyam tadasya sharanam brahmatanupasya.
Nayam Tvadasya Sharanam Brahmato Nupase. Thank you so much. We'll go to the word for, or excuse me, we'll just go right into translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear Lord Nrsingadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or the forests to meditate with vows of silence, monovrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone. Leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals, I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to the shelter of your lotus feet. Purport. Get ready. This is a banger. This is the decision of the Vaishnav, the pure devotee of the Lord. For he himself, he has no problems, even if he has to stay in this material world, because his only business is to remain in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person can go even to hell and still be happy. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj said, Navyodvijay para duratyaya vyatara naya. O best of the great personalities, I'm not at all afraid of material existence. The pure devotee is never unhappy in any condition of life. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 6:17-28. Narayanam para sarve nakutoshan bibihayati sarvaga pavargya narakshva apitalyartya darshinaha. Devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same, for such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. For a devotee being situated in the heavenly planets and being in the hellish planets are equal. For a devotee being situated in the heavenly planets and being in the hellish planets are equal. For the devotee lives neither in heaven nor in hell, but with Krishna in the spiritual world. The secret of success for the devotee is not understood by the karmis and gyanis. Karmis therefore try to be happy by material adjustments, and gyanis want to be happy by becoming one with the Supreme. The devotee has no such interest. He is not interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or the forest. Rather, his interest is in the busiest parts of the world where he teaches people Krishna conscious. The Krishna conscious movement was started for this purpose. We do not teach one to meditate in a secluded place just so that one may show that he has become very much advanced and may be proud of his so-called transcendental meditation, although he engages in all sorts of foolish materialistic activity. A Vaishnav like Prahlad Maharaj is not interested in such a bluff of spiritual advancement. Rather, he is interested in enlightening people in Krishna consciousness, because that is the only way for them to become happy. Prahlad Maharaj says clearly, Nayam Tvad Asya Sharanam Brahmato Nupashe. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. One wanders within the universe, life after life, but by the grace of a devotee, a servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can get the clue of Krishna consciousness, and then not only become happy in this world, but also return home back to Godhead. That is the real target in life. The members of the Krishna conscious movement are not at all interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or the forest, where one will only make a show of meditation, nor are they interested in opening many schools for yoga and meditation in the cities. Rather, every member of the Krishna consciousness movement is interested in going door to door to try to convince people about the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. That is the purpose of the Hare Krishna movement. The members of the Krishna conscious movement must be fully convinced that without Krishna, one cannot be happy. Thus, the Krishna conscious person avoids all kinds of pseudo-spiritualists, transcendentalists, meditators, monists, philosophers, and philanthropists. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, in the Nectar of Instruction, he talks about the very broad-mindedness of the pure devotee. The pure devotee is not cripple-minded, he says. Srila Prabhupada goes on to say that the devotee, the liberal-minded devotee, sees everything connected to Krishna and for his service. He then goes on to say that the pure devotee is always thinking 24 hours how to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Wow. 24 hours that the pure devotee is thinking, how do I spread this Krishna consciousness all over the world? When we hear things like that from Srila Prabhupada, it can become very overwhelming, right? Because we get a little taste of, oh, what am I thinking about? Think about all kinds of sort of things, right? Dealing with I and my. Me, mine, my family, my work, my boss, my service. But the pure devotee is thinking about how does this connect with Krishna and how can it help me to serve in the sense of how can I spread this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world? And we're being asked by Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada, and by Prahlad Maharaj to take this mood up. Can we get to the point where we're thinking everything connected about how do I spread, how do I share Krishna consciousness? Govind the other day was talking to me, and he was asking where I was or something, and I was telling him, no, he sees my card. And he says, Prabhu, you do funeral ceremonies? I said, yes, He said, oh, that must be really, really bad. And I said to him, well, actually, it's not so bad. Yes, it's tough that there's this body, there at the funeral ceremony. But Govind, at this time, the family is in so much pain and so much distress. And as devotees, because we're not affected by material nature, we do understand that the soul has left the body, and the body's there, and this is body just like dirt. But in this opportunity of somebody who's really grieving, we have an opportunity to help them. We get the opportunity to tell them, remind them, hey, your relative is not gone, in the sense that they have not disappeared, died, and they're gone forever, that they're also a spirit soul, and they've gone to either their next body or to Krishna. And so we encourage them to, in a proper way, in the same way. We encourage them. Say, hey, make your life about serving Krishna, so that when you're here in this situation and your body's here, you will also have people around you that are encouraging you to go back home, back to Godhead. And I could see when I was speaking to him, his attitude totally changed. He went from like, oh, that's gross, to like, oh, wow. We have an opportunity to preach Krishna consciousness. And so we as devotees are getting to the point where we try to be tolerant of these things. Yes, does my mind get disturbed that there's this body right here and that we're putting on ghee on it? The ceremony's really vast and, yeah, it kind of like wants to be irritated, right? But we tolerate. As devotees, the verse that we hang on our collar is being more tolerant than a tree, more humble than the blade of grass, willing to give everyone respect, expecting none in return, and chanting, therefore we can chant Hare Krishna 24 hours a day. So we want to get to the point where we're also tolerant not only of the external things, but we're also tolerant of the internal things like our mind and our false ego. Because they will want to see it in a material perspective, right? They will want to see the dead body. They will want to see the grievance. They will want to see, the sadness of death. But our spiritual intelligence that comes from reading Srila Prabhupada's books and chanting Hare Krishna kicks in and says, wait, let's see this from the right perspective. It is, of course, sad when we lose loved ones. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying it's not sad. It's not separation. But we're saying at least let's please see this in the right perspective. That this person is not gone. They have moved on. And one day you're going to be in this situation too. So please don't waste your life doing things that are accumulating wealth, knowledge, all these things that when you're laying right here, they're gone. So the devotee, being desirous to serve Krishna, they overcome many difficulties, right? And they do come, right? They come left and right, whether it's something, sometimes they even come by other devotees. Other devotees are helping you to become purified because they're doing something that's touching your false ego, right? And so we're meant to see these in the right perspective as and be tolerant. See, when we're tolerant of these impediments in our Krishna consciousness, we can actually understand that they're not impediments in our Krishna consciousness. We see them as the things that we can do to show Krishna that we love him. I mentioned before, I'll mention again, the mother goes 9 months carrying the child. The last few minutes are very difficult. And then they go through a unimaginable pain of childbirth. And then for so many years, they are taking care of this child that's completely dependent on him. And they're not getting anything in the sense of this person is not serving in any way. You don't say to the baby, hey, can you make your bottle? Hey, can you make dinner tonight? No, the mom is completely doing everything for them. And the mom is completely okay with it. Not only are they okay with it, they actually love it. They show the love to the child by the fact that this child is completely dependent on me, and the mom gets little things of reciprocation and a smile, or the little things that come in awkward times that are enjoyable, and then just cuddling with just the love of the child, right? So here is also a situation where it makes no sense materially. The mom goes through so much, and then the kid becomes a teenager, and if you have teenagers, you know what happens there. But the mom does it because they love the child so much. So similarly, we get opportunities where it's like, wait, Krishna, I'm getting nothing from this. Matter of fact, not I'm only getting nothing. I'm like, this is tough. This is hard. I'm getting so many things coming in my way. But we are tolerant, and we move forward to do that service. Whether that tolerance is, like I mentioned, from other people outside, or the tolerance of our mind and our false ego, right? The interesting thing that happens with the devotees that I've seen, because the materialists, they love it when, for quite often, I don't want to generalize too much, but quite often, materialists, karmis, as Srila Prabhupada says, that when they have an opportunity where they're being praised, they're very happy, right? Oh, look at what I've done. The devotee, that's like their worst nightmare. Oh my gosh, I'm getting praised. And it's not only because we're getting praised, it's because what's going on internally. We're getting proud. Our false ego goes, woo, look at what I'm getting. I've given such a nice class. I've done such a nice kirtan. I've decorated Srila Prabhupada Vyasa-san so nicely. Oh. These things will happen. When we're in devotional service, there will be opportunities where we will get praise, and our ego, our false ego, will puff up. And you know what we must do as devotees? We must tolerate it. Okay, it's not us. The false ego is not us. It is a subtle thing that is connected with us and loves to also give us impediments. And one impediment it will try to say, we've done this, we're so proud, and it does it. So, as devotees, we become tolerant of even the false ego in the mind in happiness or distress. Whether the false ego is becoming puffed up or it's getting destroyed. Either way, it's not us. And we either, one, tolerate it. Oh, you're so happy right now, false ego. Okay, good for you. Good job. I'm serving Krishna. Let me focus over here. Or second, we get a chance to preach. We can preach to our false ego. We can preach to our mind. Hey, you're getting I understand that you like to get a little puffed up or a lot puffed up. I understand that, but you're over stepping your bounds now. you're getting too much. Try to understand, false ego, and that actually the only reason why we're opportunity to give any devotional service is the mercy of our Guru, the mercy of Krishna, and if we do something good and somebody praises it, that is nice. But even if nobody praises it, it's still nice because we're trying to do it for Krishna. We are doing it for Krishna. And the only thing that we're interested in is the pleasure of Krishna. And often, the false ego and the mind, well, at first they become a little bit more irritated. They might want to fight us. There's so many tricks of the mind and the false ego, right? But eventually what they do is go, okay, I surrender. You're right. This is truth. This is intelligent. This is correct that we're hearing is that actually everything is meant to be served Krishna. And so they calm down. And then they'll flare up. And then you can come and preach them to them again, and they'll calm down. You keep on doing this, and eventually they start to get in line. And so this is where we understand that the mind can be the one's best friend or worst enemy. And we're trying to see that the mind and the false ego are not us, though. So please, when you're put into the opportunity to do devotional service, and the mind or the false ego is attacking you, whether it's internally or externally, things that you see. For instance, the false ego and the mind are attacking within, criticizing ourselves or glorifying ourselves, or externally, they're appreciating when somebody glorifies us, or they're hating when somebody puts us down, right? And we look at it as opportunity. Either A, it's our tolerance. Let me go through this. It's okay. I'm just here to serve Krishna. Or we look at an opportunity to share Krishna consciousness with this also, with the mind and the false ego also. We preach. And we get better at it. First, it might be a little hard. Well, what do I say to my false ego? You'll get better at it. You get stronger and stronger and stronger. And Krishna is there to help. He sees our attempt to try to purify ourselves, to try to get in line, to try to tolerate, try to be humble, and he helps us. And we make a little progress here and there. So, when we see verses like this, where Prahlad Maharaj, our great acharyas, are giving such the humility that they don't care whether they're in heaven or hell, or this place or that place. All they want to do is share Krishna consciousness with others and help them to come to Krishna's lotus feet. Why? Because they've had some taste of Krishna's lotus feet, whether it's this much or this much. If you have great pizza, You have a really good pizza. What must you do? Yes, you got to share it with your friends. Dude, I know this great pizza joint. Or as devotees, we say, dude, I know this devotee that makes the best pizza. Her name's Mother Sweta. And go over to her house on a Friday, Saturday, and you're going to get the best pizza, right? So what's that? Quite often in Israel. Yeah. Last night we had the huge feast, right? So as devotees, we can't help ourselves to share with others. We want to give what we've been given. We want to appreciate what we've been given, and we want to give it to others. Now, I encourage to be tolerant of the mind and the false ego that are there to disturb us from our preaching or from our sharing of Krishna consciousness. Be tolerant of them. And please understand that when we preach or when we meditate, as Prahlad Maharaj is saying, we're not doing it in a puffed up state. We actually need to look at the situation and realize that there's a person in front of us who we need to understand them so that we know how to preach to them correctly. We don't just start throwing every because we're internally preaching to ourselves, trying to overcome these different things, we start automatically thinking this person needs to hear the same things, right? You need to hear the same things. My mind is disturbing like this, and I'm preaching to my mind, so you must be like that too. No, let's make sure that we separate the fact that we are a person and we need to preach to our mind and false ego in a certain way and to our internals in a certain way. But we also need to appreciate that other people have different issues, and we should be able to ask the right questions and be able to understand where they're at so that we can also share Krishna consciousness in the right way. For instance, if I'm at a funeral ceremony, these people are grieving, it's not my opportunity to tell them about how Lord Vishnu has a lotus flower coming out of his navel, and Lord Brahma's on it, and this is how everything's actually created. And so if we understand that, then you wouldn't be bothered by this, person leaving their body. It's ridiculous, right? So we need to be aware that we also have the preaching that we need to do, the preaching that we need to do to our internals, to our false ego, to our mind. We have the tolerance that we need to have for those things. And then also there's people that also have their own things that they need help with, their own special things, and we need to be able to perceive those. Please try to understand that they're a person and they need a certain prescription, and try to give that prescription in a way that you can. And don't let your false ego or your mind get in the way from trying to give them that. Don't fear. Keep trying your best to please Krishna. I'll stop there. It's 8:22. We have times for questions, discussions, corrections. Please, Mataji, what's your name?
My name is Anjana Gopika Devi Dasi.
I'm sorry, what?
Anjana Gopika
Anjana
Gopika Devi Dasi.
Oh, very nice. Hare Krishna.
It's
Welcome.
a very helpful class, especially for me, Prabhuji. I'm going through same struggle. The mind and false ego is trying to attack or whatever you were saying. Maybe try to glorify you. Maybe they wanted to make sure, not letting me to go further, I feel. And I got a lot of understanding about how to tolerate. But can you give more explanation? Means you have an idea. You have almost gave. But you can tell me how to ignore this, means how to tolerate this false ego.
The idea to ignore the false ego, to tolerate it, is to become so attracted to our service that they're like a mosquito. You don't, when you're being bit by the mosquito, you have a choice to become enamored in the bite and the itching of it. You have a choice. You can focus on the bite, and oh my gosh, you can tell everybody about it. Oh, look, I got bit by a mosquito. I got bit by a mosquito. And what happens? It gets irritated more, right? But we, as devotees, are not so interested in the mosquito bite and the mosquito as serving Krishna. So we tolerate the little things that are disturbances, and we make our service to Krishna so much bigger. We don't make the mosquito the big thing. We don't make the mosquito bite make the big thing. We make our Krishna the biggest thing. So, when we have our mind and our false ego attacking us, we have tools to calm them down. But also sometimes that tool is just to focus on Krishna's lotus feet. But there's sometimes that it's true, the false ego and the mind are attacking, and we need to go on the offensive. And so therefore we can start to preach to it. We can read Srila Prabhupada's books, and all of a sudden Srila Prabhupada will say something that your mind will go, okay, he's right. My bad. You know? We start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And one thing I've noticed is that when devotees are disturbed and they start chanting Hare Krishna, they think, oh, I'm so disturbed I can't chant Hare Krishna. No, chanting Hare Krishna will ease the mind and start to bring the false ego and the mind in check. They'll start to, Krishna starts to reciprocate with the devotee, and all of a sudden you start remembering the verse that your Guru Maharaj said, the verse that Srila Prabhupada said. You all of a sudden remember. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the source of remembrance and forgetfulness. So we look at these opportunities to take shelter completely of Krishna. Yeah? And we tolerate when we can, preach when we're necessary, and we start putting tools in our tool bag. More tools. Mind, oh, hey, you know. So, but the number one thing is that the reason is our service for Krishna. We must make this the biggest thing. We must be, yes, please, let's pray. Right? Please, Radhakalishanji, you please become the biggest, most magnificent thing in my life, that it's the only thing that I can think of. It's the only thing that I can breathe is your divine mercy. And I just take shelter of your lotus feet. When we take we take shelter of your lotus feet. I'm there. We're there. Oftentimes, I've noticed in my mind our intelligence, when I surrender to Krishna's lotus feet and I stay there, even though they're still attacking, I just stay there, 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 just stay there. The mind intelligence go, okay, we can't do anything. They're there. And then, as a matter of fact, not only do they go, never mind, they go, okay, let me join in. Yeah. They okay, it looks like you're having fun, and I can't bother you, then let me help. Oh, yes, come help. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, you were talking about false ego and mind. In the middle is the intelligence, yes? Means I'm just getting... isn't if intelligence is strong, it can overcome the false ego also, or how it is work?
Yes, the intelligence is over the false ego and mind. You got mind, false ego, intelligence, right? But what kind of intelligence are we increasing? Are we increasing our material intelligence or spiritual intelligence? I heard Gopal Krishna Goswami once say that when we chant Hare Krishna, we're purifying our intelligence. And I was like, what? What does that mean? We're purifying our intelligence. And I thought, aren't we purifying us? And so I was focusing on this for a while. What does that mean? And I was blown away by it. This thought that by chanting Hare Krishna, we are taking the materialistic condition of the intelligence away, and we're giving it the proper intelligence, this proper spiritual intelligence. So yes, so chanting Hare Krishna, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, these things strengthen our spiritual intelligence. And a great desire to share Krishna consciousness with others even trumps those. What, Nanda-braja? Wait a minute, what? What are you saying? Yes, we're in the age of the Sankirtan movement. This is the age. of the Sankirtan movement, which makes it the most powerful thing. And so, if we are doing our best to share Krishna consciousness with others, our rounds become better, our reading becomes better, Krishna reciprocates. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, there's nothing more dear to me than the person who shares me with others, right? And this is the secret of this age, is that Lord Chaitanya has come to say, hey, Sankirtan movement of congregationally chanting and bringing people to Krishna, sharing it with the others. So when we do this, the other things, our spiritual intelligence has to catch up. Because we won't give up. Krishna, I won't give up sharing you with others. You must help me. We don't demand of him, but we're taking shelter. You got to help me. This is what I need to do, and he will. He'll purify our intelligence. He'll gives us the intelligence how to. During this class, I gave some tools about how to calm the intelligence in the mind. But I'll guarantee you, there's a million billion ways that devotees are doing it in different ways that are valuable. The most important thing is the attitude, tolerance, and willing to purify the intelligence and the false ego, to preach to it. The way you do it, Krishna will give you that intelligence. It might not exactly be the tools that I'm giving you, but I do know one thing. If you have the desire, Krishna will give you the intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the question, Mataji. Anybody else? Comment, questions, thoughts? Yes.
Hi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I just want to say thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you for being here. I'll be here quite often.
Thank you. What's your name, by the way?
My name is Deidre.
Deidre.
Or you can call me Didi, whichever one you remember.
Deidre or Didi.
Yes.
So nice to finally get to meet you officially, in a sense. I could say I have definitely seen you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say that through my spiritual journey, I've learned a lot. However, I'm grateful to God for sending me back here again. I used to go to the Bhakti Farm in Houston, but I was never able to really study or get the information about Krishna, like who Krishna was, not even knowing. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce the deity, the Godhead. Is it Jagannath?
Kalashanji?
No, Jagannath.
Jagannath. Yeah.
Yes, so.
By the way, Deidre, we'll never get offended by just trying. You know what I mean? Yeah. I appreciate your but yeah.
No, I just want to respect everyone. That's all. I just want to respect everyone. Yeah. So from my journey with God, the Godhead, the Creator, now I can put a name to it, because I never knew a name. So that's why I'm so grateful. That's why I'm so grateful to him just for coming, giving me validation on what you were speaking on today, which is a devotee being in any situation and being okay, because their devotion is to God. So no matter the situation, no matter the mind, no matter the ego, like you were saying, when someone gives you praise, the ego can puff up. And for a devotee, I'm not sure, for a devotee of God, you feel that instantly. So what I've learned, what God has taught me, is I always give the glory back to him. So if when someone come and say, oh my God, you did, I praise God. Praise God. Because I know my human mind and my human body can not regulate itself as well as God can regulate it, because we can get in our ego and think that it is of ourselves that we've done this. Oh, I did this. I got all this stuff together. But it's not of ourselves, because without God, none of it is possible. Hands might not work, can't see what you're doing, whatever it is. So the glory always has to go back to God. And I'm just grateful that I made it to your class just to hear that.
Deidre, thank you so much. You've given yet another tool, another tool of the false ego, right? Oh, wait, you're preaching to it. Wait a minute, it's not us. It's the big man up on the altar, I'm learning from you, Deidre. I think that my thought is that, wow, you're a great preacher. Very nice. Okay, any last comments, thoughts? Amrita, would you like to share something?
I've heard so many nice things about this temple community, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to have darshan of Shishivada Kalachandji, and to be reminded. The mind needs remembering. We have to say it and hear it again and again. So thank you for reminding us again this morning about the importance of chanting Hare Krishna, spreading Sankirtan, and preaching to our own minds. And thank you for reusing His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj in your class. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for your association.
Great.
And for the point you made, Mataji, I don't know your name.
Deidre.
Deidre, that's right. That Krishna is the doer. That was really nice to hear you say that. So I was actually just leaning forward because I was trying to read the sign over there about the Vyas Puja offering on Saturday. I was wondering whose Vyas Puja offering that is.
Yeah, this Saturday. Oh,
Okay.
yes. Thank you. I'll double down on the fact that the Sankirtan movement is so powerful that it will help us to chant Hare Krishna, because you talk to book distributors. Talk to any book distributor that goes out on Sankirtan, and they will tell you that their experience is that when they go out, the mind will be disturbing them, but then they keep doing it, and all of a sudden Krishna starts kicking in, he starts distributing books, and then they're chanting. They chant in a way that is relishable, right? I've heard it time and time again from book distributors, that when they go, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by his instructions, and they go out, that they get this reciprocation from Srila Prabhupada that's just out of this world. So we should all think about how we can take Srila Prabhupada's Sankirtan movement and spread it all over the world. Don't get Sankirtan. Okay, yes, thank you. Sankirtan means, kirtan means to glorify, and san together, right? So, yeah, so together we're glorifying God, right? And so when we preach in an appropriate manner, we don't bring people further away from God. We bring them closer to God. So if we're doing it in a proper way, we'll encourage each other. We'll both feel uplifted. Yeah, well, it has to have structure. It's an interesting comment. Well, I mean, there are devotees that like, they're called Yamadutas, who are Avadutas, who are just wandering around the world and whatever, Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, in their heart is Krishna, and they're seeing Krishna everywhere. And yes, they're always glorifying the Lord. And so anybody who comes in contact with them is also engages in that. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yep, exactly. Yep. And Srila Prabhupada has encouraged us to go out, Lord Chaitanya, and to tell people about Krishna. He once said, there's this little girl, 3-4 years old. Her name was Saraswati. And he said, Saraswati, who is Krishna? And she said, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And he said, you are the perfect preacher. That's all we have to know. And if we share that, Srila Prabhupada's mercy and Krishna's mercy and Lord Chaitanya, it becomes more alive and more alive. We do get to see that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Yes, he's the personality on which all personalities come from. Yeah. Jagannath is a aspect of God that he shows in a certain mood and a certain characteristic. So, for instance, there's the sun, right? And in America, we call it sun. In South America, we call it solar. And in India, Surya. And in all places on the earth, you'll see different names of the sun. But also, it's interesting enough, you'll see that there's different perceptions of the sun. For instance, in South America, there is an understanding that this is a god, a demigod. Not the god, but and you'll see in different areas that they have a different for instance, in America, what do we see the sun as? A flaming ball of gas. Right? Yes, but if you say in general, what is the perception of that country? So even different countries have different perceptions of the sun and different names for him. So similarly, it would be ridiculous, though, if I was to say, my sun is real and your solar is false. Like you don't know the sun. It's ridiculous, right? So similarly, Krishna is also comes in different names, comes in different perceptions, but he's always the same person. And our texts are saying Krishna, it's not that they're saying, it's shown in the Vedas that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, which all other, so Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, Jagannath, Ram, Gopal, yes. Oh, okay. Oh, got you. Yes. Yeah. Say that one more time, and can you give the mic to her? Because by the way, there's YouTube.
Okay, so I think I'm getting it now, because yesterday's class was about the illusion of time, kind of like the day in morning and night, morning, noon, and night is different. However, the day is not different; it's in the same day. So now I'm understanding. One didn't come from the other; it just is. Krishna, Jagannath, it just is. It's just God. That's the smile. Yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different times where
No, I understand it. I can't wait to hear all the stories about it, though. That's what I'm really, really looking forward to. However, I completely get it now. It is all one and the same. It just is. Krishna is the supreme personality of God.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha. Kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.